This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball EXCEL Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the Game of the Week in the 78-81 Carryover League, the Fall League Game of the Week. And this would be the final regular season series in the American League for the Fall League this year between the Twins and the Brewers. Plenty to play for. Both teams are trying to get a wild card spot. There's one wild card spot left. Kansas City's already won this division. Winner of this series is going to be the wild card. There's an odd chance that if the Twins win 3-2, they'd have a tiebreaker with the Expos, who are also still in contention. Let's show you what's happened. We open up this series, Game 1 in Milwaukee. Games 1 and 2 in Milwaukee, then the Twin Cities for 3 and 4, and then back to Milwaukee. Game 1, it's Dave Goltz versus Moose Haas. And these two teams have electric offenses, but not today, folks. Goose eggs through the first 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2/3 innings. It's scoreless in the bottom of the 7th. After an out, Gorman Thomas, he of the 45 homers, a one-man run-scoring rally, crushes a solo shot. It's 1-0 Brewers. And then in the 8th inning, Molitor does the same thing, another solo shot. 2-0. And Moose Haas needs nothing else. He gets the CGSO. 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Dave Goltz did a fine job. 8 innings, 4 hits, but those 2 solo homers, a walk, and 5 Ks. The Brewers win Game 1 at home. So what does this mean? Let's go take a peek at the overall standings right now in the league. So here you are. If it were to end right now, the Brewers, 4 over 500, would be your 6th seed wild card. Baltimore is 5 over. Now, the Twins are precariously now 14 and 13. But if they were to rip off 3 straight wins, they're just a game and a half behind the Brewers now. If they were to rip off 3 straight wins, they would be the number 6 seed wild card team. If there is a loss in there, and it's 3-2, then you have a pretty big of a mess, as you have a bunch of teams. Everybody would be exactly 3 games over 500. The Expos, the Brewers, and the Twins would all be 3 over, and so all sorts of complicated tiebreakers would be in action. So, Twins want to win 3 straight. Brewers just want to win the series. They won Game 1. Expos are patiently watching, hoping for chaos if it happens. And everybody else is out. Red Sox and Blue Jays are done. Tigers, Ohio is done. White Sox and 3 teams out west below California. So, it's Game 2 today in Milwaukee. And it's going to be a nice pitching matchup. For the Twins, it is Jerry Koosman, acquired in the offseason from the Mets. And in 1979 would win 20 games going to the American League after doing that in the National League. For the Brewers, it'll be Pete Vukovich. His 1981 card, he was 14 and 4. And he was also very good for the Brewers in their World Series year of 82. I think there's a Cy Young in there in one of those years. Can't remember which. Anyway, let's get started from Milwaukee. Leading off, it will be Rod Carew. 62, rolls to first. Bob Randall, 211, rolls to third. And Glenn Adams, 2-5, is a base hit with 2 outs. It's Roy Smalley. 46 is a walk. 2 on, 2 outs for Del Unser. 310, skies to right field. Bottom of 1. Paul Molitor, 54, pops to second. Cecil Cooper, 1-6. Homer 1, fly ball the rest, and that's a fly ball the rest. And with 2 outs, it's 6 to Lozcano. 64 off of the Kuzman card. Don't make it easier for him, Jerry. Homer 1 to 12 off Kuzman, double the rest, and it's gone! Another solo homer for the Brewers, who have, from the 7th inning of Game 1, they have 3 consecutive solo homers in each inning. Gorman Thomas, 1-9 is a K. We go to the 2nd inning, it's Ken Landreau. 2-10, pops the 3rd. Castino, 2-10, homer 1 to 7, fly ball the rest, and it's a fly ball the rest. And with 2 outs, Butch Winnegar, 55. Triple 1 to 7, base hit on an 8. And Jim Lentine, 1-7's a walk, 2 on, 2 outs for Rod Carew. Let's take a look at Rod Carew. So 70-70 at 388, and he comes back this year and he drops 55 points in batting average to 333. My goodness, folks. Who drops 55 points in batting average and it's 333 other than you? What would Brett do in 81? Maybe he did the same thing. I don't know. Anyway, 2 on, 2 outs. The pitch to Rod Carew. 2-7 is a roller to first. Bottom of 2. It's Ben Ogilvy. 1-7 is a K. Robin Yount, 1-8. Let's take a look at Robin Yount's card from 1980. Hit 293. A ton of extra base hits. 23 homers. 10 triples. 49 doubles. And a 2 at short. His second best year, I believe, after his MVP year of 82. 1-8 against a lefty or righty is gone. And there's another Brewer solo home run. 4 swings. 4 individual runs in the last 4 innings on a 4-base hit. Sal Bando, foreshadowing there. 4-9, skies to center field. And with 2 outs, Charlie Moore for 7. Keep these 4s going, and he strikes out. 2-0. Same score as Game 1, but with 7 more frames coming. It's Bob Randall. 58 is a K. Glenn Adams, 46 is a walk. Roy Smalley, 48 is second X. This is Molitor, 2E20 at second base. And he boots the ground ball. 2 on, 1 out for Del Unser. 58 is short X. This is Mr. Yount. He's a 2 at short, and that is a 6-4-3 double play for Robin Yount. And the Twins are stumbling. Nice offense. They have yet to score. The Brewers get the pitching. They got everything else. This thing is going to be a wrap. We'll be done here pretty quickly. Batting 9th, your DH, Taylor Duncan. 37 is single 1 to 17. It's a base hit. Here's Molitor. 57 is a K. Cecil Cooper. 1-8. Base hit to right field. Duncan holds it second. Won't take on the Unser arm. And it's Sixto Lezcano. 3-10 is a walk, and the bases are loaded for Gorman Thomas. Let's take a look at Gorman's card against the lefty with the bases loaded. Things are not looking good for the Twins. Heck, you can't even get a double play with this guy unless you get a Lomax. Not a lot you can do here with Kuzman on the mound except cross your fingers. So bases loaded with 1 out, playing back. The pitch to Gorman Thomas. Actually, you know what? You might want to bring the infield up. Yeah, they're going to bring the infield up because dude can't hit into a double play. They're going to bring the infield up. 2-7 is double 1 to 2. Fly ball the rest, and he gets the rest. But that's a sac fly. The drawbacks of hitting 244 is every time it's a hit chance, it's out the rest. That's okay. It's a sac fly, and it's now 3-0. 2 on, 2 outs. Ben Ogilvy. 58 bounces to short. This is Smalley, a 2E30 at short. Makes the play. Roy Smalley and Robin Yount. Good range. E-ratings are kind of high. Smalley's a 2E30, Yount's a 2E34. Into the 4th we go. Single runs for the Brewers. The Twins need to stop that or this thing's over with. That's 5 straight innings with single runs. And here's Ken Landreau. 39 is a base hit. John Castino, 2-5 is a 5-4-3 double play. It's been that way for the Twins. They are stymied here. They can't figure out how to get their offense on track. Butch Winnegar, 210 pops to second base. 13 scoreless innings for the Twins. It's time to wake up, or it's going to be the end of their season. Bottom of the 4th, Robin Yount. 112 is a walk. Ace stealer. Winnegar, though, with a -2 arm, so he will stay put at first base for Sal Bando. 610, short X. We talked about the range and the errors. And it's a 2E30, and it's already plugged in there for me. It's a single off the rangy 2. Tough break for the Twins. They have 2 on, nobody out. To the Brewers, it's Charlie Moore. 3-6, single 1-14. Gets the single, and oh my gosh, just like the previous inning, the Brewers have loaded the bases. And things are looking grim early on for Koosman and company. Bases loaded, nobody out. They are going to bring the infield up because this guy's got a bunch of ground ball Bs on his card anyway. Taylor Duncan. 46 is a sac fly to left field. We're getting some homers and sac flies. First and second with 1 out for Paul Molitor. 2-8 is a 6-4-3 double play. So Koosman battles back, minimizes the damage, but can't avoid giving up a run in every inning. The streak is now 6 straight innings. The Brewers score a run per inning. And the Twins also have a streak. It's called scoreless. They've run it 13 innings at this point. Normally when you get that so many scoreless innings, you get a bat around inning and put up a crooked number at a certain point. That's what the Twins are going to need if they want to go to the playoffs this year. Top of the 5th. It'll be Jim Lentine. 1-8 is ball 4. The walk machine. Jim Lentine. Rod Carew. 310 is a K. Bob Randall. 612 skies into shallow center field. And with 2 outs, it's Glenn Adams. 1-3 rolls to second base. Moose Haas, Pete Vukovich. The Brewer arms on fire here in Milwaukee. It's been all pitching. A 2-0 victory and now a 4-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, bottom of the 5th. It'll be Cecil Cooper. 212 rolls the second. Sixto Lescano, 56 is a K. And with 2 outs, Corbin Thomas. Saw his card earlier, and that is the out in that column. 10. Everything between 5 and 12 is on base. That'll end the inning. Koosman has rallied. He's made the best of a bad situation here. Given up 4 runs through 5 frames. We go to the 6th. And it'll be Roy Smalley. 58. Bounces is short. This is Mr. Yount, and he makes the play. Dell Unser, 45. Pops to second. If you were going to tell me the Brewers were going to beat the Twins 2 straight, I would have said 8-4. 7-5, something like that. I wouldn't have said back-to-back shutouts. Not to take anything away from, the Brewer pitchers, but they're a team that is built for thumping, and the Twins are as well. So. Ken Landreau, 1-7, grounds to second base, and the scoreless thing continues. Bottom of the 6th, it's Ben Ogilvy. 110, center. Briskly moving game. Robin Yount. 37 flies to left, and with 2 outs, it's Bando. 2-7 is a K. We'll go to the 7th inning. Pete Vukovich, he's a starter 6. So we'll watch him carefully. He cannot lose in a situation. We'll pull him before a situation like that happens. John Castino. 42, skies the center. These are also horrible rolls. I know they're outs almost before you have to look at the cards. Butch Winnegar, 46 is a walk. Jim Lentine, let's take a look at the on-base machine who has walked twice today. One of the funner cards in Strat-O-Matic. This was a 1980, his only year in baseball for the Tigers in 1980. Had 161 at-bats, but had 28 walks, which would have been over 100 if he played a full season. And he's got a fun card with a ton of walks on it. Pretty neat player. And they just need him to get on base again, down 4 runs. The pitch to Jim Lentine. 4-5 off Vukovic, skies the center. And with 2 outs, it's Rod Carew. 3-12 is a Lomax. What is up? The Twins are just terrible. Can't hit anything. Stretch time here in Milwaukee with the Brewers leading 4-0. We are enjoying Big Stars. Where's that at here? Keep an Eye on the Sky. This is a compilation of all the tunes of Big Star in the 1970s with alternate mix remasters, live stuff, demos, more alternate versions and demos, and you know, it is, and some live stuff down here. This thing goes on for hours. This is a marathon recording. You know, this is definitely for extra inning games. 5 hours of Big Star. I think we chose this for the Brewers because of the 70s show song. That was in Wisconsin. So let's give it to the Brewers here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 4-0 lead. Jerry Koosman, Charlie Moore. 49, skies the center. Taylor Duncan. 46, flies the left. And with 2 outs, Molitor. 2-9, grounds to short. All right. There you go. Big Star. All right. 7 in the books. We go to the 8th inning. The Brewers have no defense to bring in. It's already in there. And the Twins have to be looking at themselves in the mirror and go, we can't score 2, 3, 4 runs? What's going on here? 4-0 into the 8th. Pete Vukovic is up past midnight. It's past his bedtime here. He's a starter 6, but there's really no reason to take him out. Perhaps if a couple guys get on, we'll do it. And they do have Tom Hume, acquired from the Reds, as a closer. They have Bob McClure, Phil Travers, converted starter down relief, and Tom Murphy. To get 6 outs with a 4-run lead and get a stranglehold on this wild card spot. Here is Bob Randall. 54 off of Vukovic. This is Homer 1-2, fly ball the rest. And we get the rest. Glenn Adams, 6-2, rolls to first. These are terrible rolls. They're not going to be hits. Roy Smalley, 58, no, bouncer to short. This is Yount. And he makes the play. Do the Brewers hold the Twins scoreless in Wisconsin? Scoreless in Wisconsin. Sounds like a Meg Ryan film. Okay. Bottom of the 8th. Koosman. He's got to be scratching his head. I know he threw the ball over the wall earlier on. He settled down a bit, and he's retired 11 in a row. He'll just go out there for the 8th. Cecil Cooper. 2-3 center. Lezcano. 1-9 is a walk. And Gorman Thomas, I think we'll do it. We'll pull him now. 7 in the 3rd. We saw that card. And the Brewers do indeed crush lefties. The fact they just scored 4 times is probably a good thing. And the Twins will have to go to Doug Corbett in the 8th. He's their closer to make sure they don't get any more. Doug Corbett in the 8th to Gorman Thomas. 66 is a strikeout. And Ben Ogilvy. 69 flies into center field. We go to the 9th. Do we try changing things up with Vukovic, who has a 1-2-3 hitter? I think you have to let him get into some level of peril before you hook him. So no, we'll let him continue. It'll be Del Unser in the 9th. 38 is a strikeout. Ken Landreau. 69 flies to center, and with 2 outs. I guess I have to show you John Castino's card because there's no reason. I mean, yeah, Castino, a 285 hitter in 400 at-bats in 1979, third baseman, second baseman, and he needs to get on base or the Twins aren't going to the playoffs. The pitch, John Castino. 57 is a strikeout, back-to-back complete games for The Milwaukee Brewers, CGSO on top of CGSO. The Brewers have scored just 6 runs in 2 games, won them both. If they continue to pitch like this into a playoff run, whoo, it's over, folks. Brewers are winning the whole darn thing. Just too much offense here. We didn't even get to look at a lot of these Brewer cards because, well, frankly, we didn't need to. They were never behind in the entire series. So, 2 straight wins. The series will go to Minnesota. I will play game 3 and 4 and 5 if necessary. But we'll look at the box now. Another 3-hitter, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, complete game. Corbett struck out a batter. Jerry Kuzman suffers the loss. 6 hits and 4 runs. 1, 2, 3. They're all earned. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. 1-009, 0108. 4603, 4603. 5438 3854. That is game 2. I know we may have eliminated the Expos. I have to double check the math here and see if the Expos still have a path in this. And crazy Brewers. And the Brewers are trying to get a 5 seed, get ahead of Baltimore, get an easier draw in a wild card game. As both teams are now +5. Brewers could get a +6 if they sweep the Twins. So, let's start with these Brewers. They are 16-11, and now percentage points better than Baltimore for a 5 seed. They are hitting .287 with a 4.80 ERA. Oh boy. Caldwell has not pitched in this series. He's 5-1. Moose Haas and Pete Vukovich are a combined 6-6. And the 2 complete games are the 2 games contained in this video. The first time they threw complete games all year. Vukovich, with his shutout, brings his ERA down to 6. So you throw a shutout and bring your ERA down to 6. Moose Haas, his shutout, brings his ERA down to 4.77. Caldwell's been the real deal. He's available for game 4. He pitched in the last game. It has been the slugging of Sixto Lozcano in 27 games, has 12 homer and 31 RBI. Ben Ogilvy, 10 homers and 22. You saw Gorman Thomas, 7 and 22. Yeah, what's Robin Yount doing? He's 32 for 112. That's not bad. He's hitting .286. And for your Twins, this is kind of funny. They're hitting .284 after getting shut out in back-to-back games with a 4.16 ERA. They're just 14-14 now, and things look pretty grim. We'll go look at the overall standings and see if there's still a path. Offensively, I guess we have to start with Carew, who's had a okay year, but it's Carew. We expect more. He's only hitting .288, so it's not a good year for Carew. Castina's leading the club in hits with 39. Not a lot of homers. Kuzman is 2-4. Dave Goltz is 1-5. Just not seeing it. Good bullpen, though. Doug Corbett, scoreless in 15 innings and 7 saves. And John Henry Johnson's pretty close to that. If they could just get a lead into the 8th and 9th innings, they feel confident in their bullpen. John Henry Johnson and Doug Corbett are closing this stuff out. But, heck, they can't even score a run like get a lead. So, when we look at the overall standings, here we are, folks. 593 ball for the Brewers. So they are technically sitting at a 5 with Baltimore at a 6. There's a possible 3 games left in this series, assuming the Twins win all of them. The Twins win all these games. Game at home, game 3. At home, game 4. Go back to Milwaukee, win game 5. If they win all those games, the Brewers would be 16-14, and they would be behind the Expos. And they are currently 3.5 ahead of the Twins, so the Twins wouldn't be able to catch them either. The Twins would be 17-14. The Twins and the Expos would be tied, and they'd have to have a playoff game, or there'd be a tiebreaker. So the Brewers need to win one more game to make all this academic. If they lose 3 straight to the Twins, then the Twins and Expos are tied, and a tiebreaker determines that wild card spot. So we'll have that at the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get back to you at the end with the result. All right, welcome back, baseball fans. Here's the box score of the game you just saw, the Game 2 shutout, 4-0 shutout of Vukovic beating Kuzman. So do the Twins have some fight in them, having played 18 scoreless innings and being completely humbled by just an ordinary Milwaukee Brewer pitching staff? What happens when we go to Minnesota, the Twin Cities, the Prince and the Revolution, doing a little concert action, trying to get the team hyped up in Minnesota? It is Game 3. It's going to be Jim Slayton for the Brewers, and it's going to be Ed Halicki, a nice acquisition from the San Francisco Giants. Led the league in WHIP in 1978. Great pitching matchup in this one. It's scoreless. In the bottom of the third, Rod Carew doubles. Then you get an out, and then, oh my goodness, folks, Del Unser with a double. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Twins have scored a run. Rod Carew taps on home plate for the first time. The Twins have a run. Not only do they have a run, they have a 1-0 lead. How about that, folks? This game continues that way into the 7th inning. Ed Halicki pitching a gem. He'd only given up 1, 2, 3 hits through 6 frames. Leading off in the 7th, Sixto Lozcano with a single. Yount with a double. Runner holds at third. Second and third, nobody out. He's a starter 7. One more hit breaks him. Ogilvy bloops a single to left field. Lozcano scores to tie the game. Yount's rounding third, trying to give the Brewers a lead, but the left fielder Lentine throws Yount out at the plate, temporarily keeping the Twins' hopes up as it stays 1-1 with a runner at first. And then Halicki, broken, has to come out of the game, though, and Fernando Arroyo gets the next 2 outs. So it is 1-1. Could have been a lot worse for the Twins. In the 8th inning, we talked about how great the back end of the Twin bullpen is. John Henry Johnson and Doug Corbett. They bring in John Henry Johnson. Taylor Duncan pinch hits and gets a single. Molitor gets a double. Same situation as the 7th. Second and third. Here, though, Charlie Moore gets a single ... and the runs score automatically. And the 2 runs score. Another single by Cooper and a sac fly by Lozcano. And frankly, it's John Henry Johnson's worst inning of the season, coming at the worst time. And that's a real darn shame. He has been very good up until then. It's a 4-2 game. Bill Travers, who picked up for Slayton in the 7th, continues into the 8th with the Brewers, 6 outs away from a 3-0 sweep. He gets an out and a single, and then he gets 2 outs and a single. And then they go to their closer, Tom Hume, acquired from the Reds, to see if he can get the final 4 outs. He gives up a triple to Castino to make it 4-2, records the final out. In the 9th inning, the Twins get runners at second and third with 2 outs in a 4-2 game, and it's Ken Landreau against Tom Hume. And Landreau can only smack a hard ground ball to second base. Molitor throws over to first. The game is over. The Brewers hold on and win 4-2. The Twins score just 2 runs in 3 games. Quality start, shutout, quality start, good relief performance is how Milwaukee goes. Milwaukee won that game without hitting a home run. Milwaukee had 4 runs on 10 hits. Twins had 2 runs on 11 hits. And it is a 3-game sweep. And the Brewers are red hot now. And let's look at the overall standings in the league. The Brewers have vaulted all the way up to the 5 wild card. 2 games behind the Royals. Brett's Royals, Yount's Brewers. Both guys in their heydays, you could say. The Brewers knock Baltimore, a half game behind them, to a 6 seed. And so what does it mean? in the wild card games. And we're just playing a single wild card game because that's the format of the Fall League. We don't drag this out very long. It's much shorter than my Summer League. So in wild card games, which is what Major League Baseball has been doing for the last 20 years up until recently, we have the 5 Brewers playing the 4 Angels. The 5 Brewers will have 22-game winner Mike Caldwell, rested, didn't even pitch in the Twins series, starting the wild card game as a starter 9 versus Nolan Ryan, also a starter 9, in a game that the bullpen lights will not even be used. But it gets better, folks, because in the other one, the number 6 Orioles will play the number 3 Yankees in a wild card game. Talk about pitching matchups. In Yankee Stadium, the Orioles will send 1979 Cy Young winner Mike Flanagan to the Bronx to face 1978 Cy Young winner Ron Guidry in a marquee battle of lefties. It doesn't get much better than this in the wild card round in the American League with George Brett's 1980 Kansas City Royals and Cleveland's Cinderella Indians on the bye. Wow, what a fun, exciting setup for your American League playoffs in the Fall League in the years of 78 to 81. Boston's been eliminated. The Orioles can still mathematically come back and go back to the World Series, but they're going to have to do it the hardest way possible as a 6th seed. Cleveland's a new playoff team. And yeah, so that's it tonight. Thanks for checking this stuff out, folks. We will see you next time.